changes that you expect to see in this fight compared to the other ones?
Well, I hope he does fight. I hope he fights us harder and exchanges with us more, because I think that'll help us. And Teddy's second fight, I don't really know what they're up to. I mean, I only have one tape to watch with them together, and I can see some changes he's trying to make, but not completely, of course. But obviously they'll try to change some things. But I still think once Manny hits him, he'll revert back to what he does best, and that's what he's naturally done his whole life. He's a very durable, tough guy.
Is this Manny's last fight?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because there's a lot on the table that could go after this fight, and I'd like to see him continue for a little while more. Maybe 2 or 3 more fights, because he's still really a great athlete and a great fighter. And but if he does decide to retire, I'll be 100% behind him.
Freddie, as far as Terence Crawford, he's supposed to headline his first pay-per-view. They said Victor Postol might be the opponent. What do you think about that fight, Freddie?
It's a great fight. I love that fight. They asked me if Postol will take that fight. I said, of course we will. And I would like Postol to get a little better known and fight a couple of more guys first. But since that's maybe not available, Postol and him, I love that fight.
What do you think of Terence overall? Because some people think his level of opposition hasn't been the best as of late. Will this be a good kind of let us know if he's for real, or what do you think about him, Freddie?
Yeah, well, he's a good fighter, but this is a big test. I mean, because Postol's he's not easy. He's difficult to fight. His style is difficult. His height's difficult. He's a very good fighter. I think I like Postol to win that fight, but again, it's a very tough fight. And I love when people put together the best fight and the best. And that's what we have in that division right there, is the best fight and the best. So I look forward to that fight if it does happen.
Freddie, as far as Manny's opponent, Bradley, a third time, are you still disappointed that you didn't get a different opponent? There was talks of Khan, even Crawford, different guys. Would you have liked to have seen Manny fight a different fight as opposed to a trilogy?
Well, the thing is, in the history books said that this is a trilogy because he won the first one. So, we all remember the first fight, so we know it and so forth. But our kids or something in the future can just read about Manny losing. So I think this is a rubber match, and it's a good match for Manny. I think to come back with because the shoulder injury and so forth, we got to make sure that's 100%. And I think we have to show the world that we're back. And that's why I hope there is another fight down the line. But again, he keeps telling me this is it.
As far as Amir Khan, I don't know if you've seen that picture of his bicep that is huge. He's been putting a lot of size. Did you get to see it, or?
Someone showed me a picture. I mean, I don't go to the internet too much, but the thing is, people do show me stuff. I mean, he looked really big. I think Amir can win that fight I think he can win the fight. I don't count him out if he stays focused. I think he can definitely win the first 4 or 5 rounds, but he doesn't usually stay focused that long a period. So after that, Canelo might be too strong for him at the end. But then when I saw the pictures of him yesterday, he's as big as anyone. He was really big. I mean, I don't know how he got. He must be lifting a lot of weights.
They say they're Photoshop pictures. They look Photoshop. That's what they say.
I don't think so. You really Photoshop?
That's what they're saying.
He has a big stomach too, though. Big arm but a big belly.
There you go.
So,
Freddie,
maybe.
This trilogy with Bradley compared to the one with Morales, Common and Marquez +1, which one seems to be the more difficult one in your opinion? Which one was the most tougher task?
Morales, Marquez are way bigger than this opponent.
Tougher?
Way. We're better fighters, yes. Much better fighters, I think. Yeah, no. I don't compare them with him.
Yeah.
They were, those are rivalries that I loved, and they were great because they were great fighters. I mean, it was the best fight and the best back then. We don't always get that nowadays.
Do you feel that 5th fight with Marquez is still on the table? If Manny is not to retire after this fight, do you think he's still there for you?
I talked to Marquez, and I asked him about fighting Cotto, and he liked the idea of fighting Cotto at a certain weight class, but then he wanted a tune-up fight and so forth, and we didn't have time to do all that. So And then he asked me if he says, "Will me and Manny fight again?" I said, "Well, if we can come if we can come to terms," I said, of course we will. I mean, Manny would love that fight one more time. I mean, to get that back. But the thing is, he likes the way that last one ended, so it's maybe a little bit more difficult to get him in the ring. But he wanted to fight Cotto though, but we couldn't really agree on the weight, and we couldn't agree on the time period where he wanted us to put him in a tune-up fight first, and we just didn't have time.
It looks like Jesse Vargas is willing to fight Cotto at a weight that will suit Cotto for the fight to be made. How do you feel about Vargas and Cotto there?
That's a good fight. I mean, I talked to Miguel this morning, and there's a couple of guys on the table right now, and I think the biggest fight for him, though, is a rematch with Canelo. That's a fight he would really want. But right now, they're talking about.
Kell Brook's been thrown out there too.
Kell Brook's name's out there, and he's a very good, aggressive fighter. And I said yes to him, and then I said yes to the guy from Texas. The girl trains him, or used to train him. Kirkland, yeah. I'm so bad with names. I'm sorry. It's fucking punchy.
What fight do you like from Miguel Cotto?
What fight do I like with Miguel Cotto? I like the rematch. I would love to have that rematch. I thought he came real close the first time. I thought he actually outboxed him, and I thought he outpointed him in that one. I thought his defense was a lot better than people realized in that fight. But okay, the big thing was that he couldn't really hurt Canelo because he was on his toes a little bit too much, too long, and he didn't get to sit down and throw his power shots. And that's something I would like to change.
Nacho Beristain pointed that the dark forces, quote unquote, came together for Canelo to win that night. What's your take on all that? He felt that Cotto clearly won that fight, or he boxed better.
A lot of people in Mexico thought Cotto won that fight. I have a lot of people tell me he won that fight, and I thought he won the fight. But the thing is, it was a good, hard fight, and a rematch the world would love that rematch, I think.
As for the dark forces, he's kind of insinuating that there was a little foul play there. Did you feel like? What's your take on that?
Foul play. You could say that in the Pacquiao fight with this guy, the first one. There could have been foul play there too, but we can't figure out who really benefited from it.
Yeah.
Who really benefited? I mean, did someone make a big bet or something like that? If someone did, I'm sure we'd hear about it. But I think judges are trying to be as fair as possible. But the thing is, it's different. People see things in different ways.
Well, it's clear that you want the rematch with Canelo, but a lot of people felt that Canelo was going to knock out Cotto, and now they feel that he should knock out Khan. What's your take on that? Does he have to knock out Khan? Does that affect his reputation if he doesn't?
Probably does, but Khan is a very good athlete. He's a very good boxer. I mean, again, I like him for the first 4 rounds, but then after that, I think the strength of in size of Canelo will take over. But then now Khan might be as big as he is going into the ring. I'm not sure, but I don't count. Khan could win that fight, though. He is that good. He's a good enough boxer to outbox this guy, but the thing is, can he stay disciplined for the 12 rounds? That's it. I'm not sure.
If his chin held up against Pacquiao in sparring, do you think he'll hold up against Canelo in actual fight? I know this is different weight divisions, but...
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, sparring, you wear headgears and 16-ounce gloves, and, with 8-ounce gloves on and no headgears, there's a big difference. Can he... I don't think he can take his power. Yeah. But the thing is, I think he can stay away from it, though, if he chooses to. But again, I don't train him anymore, so my philosophy on the way to fight him is probably different than his coach's, because his coach has him throw a flurry and then hold, and it makes things a little bit boring. And the thing is, if he reaches for Canelo, he gets caught coming in, he might be in trouble. But
and Freddie, going back a couple questions, clearly you want Manny to be 100%. Right now, with like a week coming into the fight, where do you think he's at right now?
He's 100%. Yeah,
100%.
He's right there. Yeah.
And how is he looking to you?
Great. And the next 2 sparring days, they're just gonna, just be very light. And, I'll have a talk with both sparring partners, and we're gonna just we just have to stay sharp at this point. And on the mids, I'm starting to slow down with him a little bit. And instead of being all action the whole time, I'm talking a little bit more than usual, just to bring him down a little bit, because I don't want him to overdo it.
Freddie, Floyd said that if he were to come back, the only name he's looking at is Danny Garcia because he's undefeated and he has a title. What do you think about that fight, Danny Garcia? You don't like that fight?
Well, his dad might win the fight. He's a good arguer. His dad's pretty funny. I mean, but I don't think he's in that class.
Really? So you wouldn't want to see that? Oh, what do you think happens if they were to fight, Freddie? If he were to come back, fight Danny?
I'd like Danny to fight Manny. If I get him to stay in the game. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Why do you like the Danny fight, Freddie? What is it about? Because it's not just you. A lot of fighters like Danny.
Well, when I had Amir Khan fight him, I thought Amir was kicking his ass. But the thing is, his dad made a statement about Amir's religion, and that really got him really upset and mad. And he went out there and tried to knock the guy out, and he got knocked out. So I thought I had his head clear of that, but. Obviously, it didn't work that night, and he stayed in the pocket way too long. And I mean, his dad does say some bad things at bad time. I mean, religion is something that we all shouldn't talk about too much. I think because there's too many wars over that shit. I mean,
so if Amir and Danny were to rematch now, given how they are, what do you think would happen? Would Amir be able to still beat him and stay composed this time? Or?
If he boxed him, yes. He can now box him, yes. I feel, yes.
Freddie, you took a lot of blame for that loss in particular for Khan. You know, that was your guys' final fight together. Why was that? Why did the blame lay on you instead of Khan for not executing the game plan?
Somebody's got to get blamed. So the thing is, the trainer's the easiest guy to blame. You know, he's overtrained him or whatever it is. But like, I did. You know, at this point, it doesn't bother me. Obviously, I still respect him as an athlete. He is a very good athlete. I don't think he's a great fighter, but he's a great athlete.
Freddie, which Manny Pacquiao win you think you enjoy the most? Well,
Guerrero won. It's my favorite fight of all time. It was great. I thought that really, really made him a superstar. That was the first step. He was fighting the pound-for-pound best guy in the world. I think that was the Ledwaba was a great win, but not too many people remember Ledwaba. And then that fight in Texas, that was a good night. And I remember when Barrera knocked him down in the first round, it was kind of a slip a little bit, and they counted, and I said, and I didn't see it, and I said, oh shit. I said, what happened? Because I was trying to get settled in the corner, and I look up, and the referee's counting over Manny, and I said, oh my God, it's over. And then Manny went on to stop him in the 11th round. That was one of my best fights with Manny Pacquiao. Ricky Hatton was probably the best knockout ever, but that fight with Barrera was a great fight. I love that fight.
Have you imagined yourself not coaching Manny Pacquiao anymore?
It could happen, and I have to deal with reality. I mean, he keeps telling me that this is it. So I mean, the thing is, I believe him a little bit, but not all. So, but I think he might have a lot more to do with it, depending on what he wants to do, or maybe what kind of money he's going to offer Manny for the next fight. Could change things.
If he gets approved, do you want him to fight in the Olympics?
I worry about that a little bit, because getting him ready for a 3-round fight is like really, really different for both of us at this time of our lives. But if he wants to go, I will, and if he wants me there, I will be with him, yes.
What do you think about professional fighters just fighting in the Olympics?
I don't like it too much. I don't like professional athletes in the Olympics at all, because again, I think they take away the dream of a college player that might be as far as he goes and so forth. And our college players are always good enough to compete at that level, but now with the pros playing, it's like everyone expects America to win, because as a pro sport, it's huge here. You know, it's very big, and but some of the other countries also have some good pros and so forth, but not as many as America. I feel at this point at least at the Olympic level. But I wish that they would let the college guys play, because they were good enough to compete in hockey and basketball. And those are the two major sports that have pros playing right now. But if they let them do it, why not boxing? I mean, it's just I don't think they can really let pros play in the other sports without letting them play in every sport. So I think it's going to be everywhere pretty soon.
Excuse me, Freddie. I'm sorry, just follow you for 1 second.